Joy, everyone. I'm Naila Ansari, the director of the Movement of Joy Project. For the past 3 years, I've traveled the country interviewing different folks about joy, sharing their movement to different songs that they enjoy, and sharing their movement from different experiences that they've had that have given them joy. I'm honored to share this joy with you tonight with this wonderful group of dancers. Throughout this process, the dancers were asked to answer these 3 questions. What is joy? When did they discover joy? And when did joy discover them? They had multiple exercises of understanding joy through their own improvisational practice, as well as learning joy and movements of joy from other communities that I've shared joy with and that they've shared their joy with me through movement. They've also worked with the Movement of Joy Project, professional artist and national slam poet, Marquis 10,000 Burton, understanding joy in the present moment through improvisation, through words and storytelling. I'm honored for you all to see and witness this joy, hear, feel, and understand that joy is ever present, and most importantly, it's something that's embodied and that lives through the movement in all of us. So without further ado, the Movement of Joy.
Joy is something that is inside each and every one of us. However, we just have to choose whether joy is going to be in our lives. Today, it seems that there is so much negativity around us, but what if we focus on just celebrating each other? Even if it's just those little things, because those little moments can bring us the greatest joys in life.
To me, joy is something that brings you calmness and brings you happiness and just makes you feel light and airy inside.
It's this positive, euphoric light that just gives you a sense of belonging, but also a sense of passion.
Joy is almost like a feeling of positive light spreading throughout your body, and it's an elevated happiness that it's pretty rare to find, but once you do find it, nothing else really seems to matter.
It's like being in this bubble of happiness and joyfulness, and the problems and weights of the world just cannot get into that bubble.
It's being filled up with so much love and feeling the love from other people.
It's feeling confident, it's feeling calm and zen, and I think that's when you can truly be the most free.
You could be depressed and you could still find joy in something. When I'm dancing, I find joy on my saddest days.
Joy to me is very subtle. It's kind of the undertone to a lot of things, really, the undertone to life, really. It's in the silence and it's in the peace and it's in the calm. Because there's all these other emotions, anger and sadness and pain and suffering, that joy is so easily overlooked because it's that quiet undertone that once you let go of those other emotions and you work through them, that joy is found underneath it all. To me, it's like almost like the heartbeat of your body. You know, your heart is the pacemaker of your life. Underneath it all, when you really listen, you can hear it and feel it.
I can't stand when my wings start to hit the cage. My neck shrinks in its length. My eyes get keener.
Now, I think that joy found me a long time ago, and it is something that can be 100% contagious.
The moment I discovered joy for myself was probably when I was in high school, and I really realized for the first time just how much my family meant to me.
I believe that I discovered joy the day that my baby brother was born. I was an only child for most of my life, and then when I was 18, my first blood-related sibling was born.
I think my faith has really brought me a lot of joy and has really shown me what joy means.
I discovered joy when I stopped caring about what other people had to say about me. I really focused on myself.
I first discovered joy when my grandfather taught me how to play the drums as a child.
I found joy when I first came to Salve, and I realized how positive and welcoming the environment is.
Specifically when I got my acceptance letter from Salve, I discovered joy after I watched Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure and decided I wanted to make my endeavor into the performing arts.
I found joy when I decided to be an early ed major and just started working with kids and going to the schools and like being there for those fundamental moments that are gonna last a lifetime for these kids. My connection to them is gonna be with them forever, that they're gonna remember that.
I discovered joy when I was 3 years old when I first started dancing.
I find a lot of joy in dancing. I think that's where I get the most joy. And it's usually when I'm dancing with other people or when it's a showcase that we all worked so hard for and I get to see it come together, or I'm watching other dancers and see how joyful they are. I think that it kind of rubs off on me and I also can experience their joy.
I truly believe that joy is found when you are just being your true self.
Joy discovered me when my mom put me in my first dance class when I was really little.
A few years ago, it was Christmas Eve, and my family has this big Christmas Eve party every year. The Christmas music is playing, and I honestly just didn't even feel real.
I think joy truly discovered me the first time that I left the country. I went to Europe to perform without my family. And I realized that although I was there to perform, it showed me so much about the world, and that showed me that there's so much to learn, so much to grow, so much to be excited about.
I believe that joy discovered me a few months after I stopped dancing competitively. I think it was probably my first performance at Salve when I truly felt what dance is supposed to feel like.
A time that joy found me was when I went to Virginia to see my family for family Christmas.
Joy discovered me when it was my first time on a stage auditioning for a children's workshop.
Joy discovered me when I started performing. Once I step out on that stage is when that joy just surrounds me.
I just want to be remembered as someone who is a light to others. Someone who has a caring heart and truly just cherished all the moments in my life.
I want to be remembered as someone who other people, such as my friends and my family, can always come to and confide in and talk to.
I want to be remembered as someone who did good.
I want to be remembered as someone who openly accepted others and produced a sense of kindness.
I want to be remembered as someone who is successful and who always tried their hardest at everything they do.
Hopefully, I can be remembered as someone who loves life, is passionate, made people laugh, hopefully. And most importantly, I want to be remembered as someone who is a good friend. I work really hard at being the best friend that I can be.
I want to be remembered as someone who's kind, and not over-ambitiously kind, just kind in being myself.
I want to be remembered as someone that could make people laugh, that could light up a room.
I want to be remembered through my kindness. I really try so hard to give back as much as I can and to be as kind as I can.
I think the most important thing to me would be to be remembered as selfless. I strive to put others before myself. And as a good friend and my family are the most important things to me in my life.
I want to be remembered as someone positive, energetic, happy.
I want to be remembered as someone who always tried their hardest to succeed. And I want to be remembered as someone who did succeed.
I like to be remembered as somebody that anybody can come to for anything.
Found the joy, resistance, found the joy to keep on pushing, to keep on moving, to see that this life won't slow down. We understood that there are days where we feel tethered to the wall, and there are other days that we learn how to dance against it, learn how to push away from it, learn how to feel ourselves inside ourselves again, how to silence out the audio of hurt, how to silence out the replayed traumas that trigger us and makes us replay into the same pain that we've been through, wondering why we got to this point. It tries to make us forget those times that we pushed through the pain, Those times when we felt the resistance on us, we pushed until we got it up off us, and we found joy in it even before we learned how to push free from it. There's something about learning how to live when we barely know how to survive, that makes us see the joy and resistance.